we sneak buffing Urza Saga? One of the most powerful lands to be printed in recent memory, it's a staple in artifact and even combo-based strategies. But the soon-to-be-released Final Fantasy set is bringing about a whole new slew of sagas, and they decided to make a rules change. I want to use this video to discuss that change, some of the implications, and how we can look forward to this in our formats moving forward, because this is absolutely insane. We did not need this for Saga. Before we get to the topic of the video, please take a look at this Keeper Maul for a Kid in 7. Mike from Playing with Power, I know what you're doing with this tweet. This is rage baiting. I'm showcasing this on this video as a rage bait. This is a full Secret Lair Universes Beyond hand. This is insane. What are any of these magic cards? I love it. I love it. 10 out of 10 crap post. 10 out of 10. Anyway, back to the actual topic at hand. Rules change. Urza Saga no longer dies to Blood Moon. Now, this is a change that we're going to discuss that affects all sagas, but I'm focusing on Urza Saga because that is the most playable saga to me right now. Forget your Tom Bombadil Saga deck. That's not what I'm here to talk about. This is Urza Saga, competitively constructed, viable, and heck, really powerful in EDH as well. No longer dies to Blood Moon. It instead remains a mountain with every ability it gained across the last 5 chapters. Ah! What are we doing? And this includes the ability to create constructs. This is an unreal buff. I'm sorry, look, I'm not saying this is gonna get banned, but this is insane. What are we doing? And obviously, look, they didn't make this change with the intention of doing this for Urza Saga. They wanted to make things a little bit cleaner for a bunch of the other sagas that are coming through Final Fantasy with the introduction of saga creatures. They wanted to make things a little bit more smooth. So let's go over it. This came from the Final Fantasy release notes here. Honestly, I wanted to do a little bit of a Pauper Commons review and everything with this, but for some reason, slap dab on my desk in the middle of lunch or something, I got this. Breaking news, Magic the Gathering, the release notes. Let's go down. 108 Saga update. Speaking of sagas, we're making a small but impactful rules update with this release. With the advent of saga creatures, it's much easier to get into a situation where a saga on the battlefield loses all of its abilities, but is still a saga enchantment. The result of this interaction was previously unintuitive to many players. Since the saga had no chapter abilities, the game defined the greatest number among its chapter abilities as 0. And so no matter how many lore counters that saga had on it, it would be sacrificed as a state-based action once it wasn't the source of a chapter ability on the stack. So for example, if you Blood Mooned in Urza Saga, it lost all abilities, became a mountain, and so therefore it wasn't an enchantment saga, like it didn't have its abilities of the saga chapters anymore. That would be 0. The saga rules would check that and immediately get you to sacrifice it. So that was a great way to deal with Urza Saga against, in modern, maybe you're playing Affinity, maybe you're playing Amulet Titan, whatever it is, any Urza Saga strategy in other formats as well, Harbinger of the Tide, which I'm going to talk about as well. All of these ways were great ways to punish Urza Saga. No more though. No more. Starting with the release of Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy, we're updating the rules. If a saga has no chapter abilities, it won't be subject to the state-based action that would cause it to be sacrificed due to how many lore counters it has. Okay, so if it has, Urza Saga has 2 lore counters on it, you Blood Moon, you yourself, the player controlling Urza Saga, the madman that you are, Blood Moon now. It won't be sacrificed. Similarly, it won't be subject to the turn-based action that adds a lore counter to each saga you control at the beginning of your first main phase each turn. It will eternally stay at Saga 1 or Saga 2. Folks, for example, if you're summoned Bahamut, it doesn't matter. Forget that example. This means that if your Urza Saga is on Saga 2, if it's on 2, it will be able to forever make construct tokens underneath a Blood Moon. Forever. For as long as that, okay, I'm being facetious here. As long as that Blood Moon's out. As long as that Blood Moon is out, it will be able to continue to make saga tokens. The construct tokens. The 0/0s that get +1/+1 for each artifact you control. Oh my lord. What are we doing here? That is insane. Saga Prison is so real. You could not play Saga alongside Blood Moon. Now you can. Now it's so much better. You shouldn't. Now you can. It's so good. You can eternally trap your sagas on number 2. You didn't want to grab that 1 of artifact, doesn't matter. You're creating threats for 2 mana every single turn. This is an insane change. This is an insane change. Like, I mean, under Blood Moon, right? So obviously they're all mountains on chapter 2. If you did it on chapter 3, right? Like, that's not ideal. Chapter 1's not ideal either. You just get the mana ability, but chapter 2 is the sweet spot. Notably, if you play this on 1, I'm curious how this works for a saga that enters after the fact. Now, I'm pretty sure the way this works is it's just a land that does nothing. So if you have a Blood Moon already and you play an Urza Saga, the saga will not do anything after. It doesn't gain a counter. It can't tap for anything. As far as I'm aware, if we kind of back up here, Urza Saga is just an enchantment land that does nothing because you have to add a counter on it to gain the mana ability, and Blood Moon makes it so that can't happen. That same thing is going to happen with Harbinger of the Seas, which is now notably named Flood Moon as its nickname. It happens with Spreading Seas as well. Again, decreasingly relevant cards. But honestly, Harbinger of the Seas is actually a relevant Magic card, especially when it comes to the modern format. Blood Moon more so universally, especially in Legacy. Changes like this are absolutely insane. I mean, my mind personally went to Legacy Painter. I am a Legacy Painter player, and so this is where I'm thinking there are moments where you board in Magus of the Moon or Blood Moon, you are a 4 Saga deck. You are a 4 Saga deck because Grindstone is 1. Grindstone is 1, Lotus Petal is 1 to get a kind of artifact in your graveyard to be able to switch between like Chaos Defiler or something. Like, these are all 1s. So now there's no hesitation, but play the Blood Moon's main. Painter's now a prison deck. Painter's now a prison deck. We have combined Red Stompy and Painter combo. Put the moons in the main. Put the damn moons in the main. Play your basics. Make them have the basics. Put the moons in the main. It's crazy. Folks, I don't know what to tell you. This is a wild change. Now, obviously, as I mentioned from the beginning, this isn't necessarily gonna break open any format. This isn't gonna necessarily get Urza Saga banned. This is just an absolutely wild change that, yes, helps the Final Fantasy creatures themselves become more playable, but unintentionally takes one of the most powerful Magic cards, the most powerful lands printed in recent years from Modern Horizons. Of course, it's a Modern Horizons card. Of course it is. Modern Horizons, and hyperbuffs, just hyperbuffs. It shoots it up to the moon. Up to the moon. We are trying to tell the story of one of the most prolific Magic characters in its history. And of course, we just make it more powerful. We make the story of Urza unstoppable. You cannot remove it. No Blood Moon, nothing can stop it. The story of Urza, Fahrenheit 451 couldn't get to this. Fahrenheit 451 could not burn this book. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, folks, let me know what you think about the change down below. This is an absolutely wild one. I honestly wanted to today's video was supposed to be me talking about how how CDH is actually a good format. A lot of you kind of misconstrued my video from the other day talking about the 11-hour game. A lot of CDH players got like super defensive. Don't be babies about it, please. Like, you know, I love the format. I mentioned it later in the format. It's just the look of the format is really bad when you have an 11-hour game. I don't know. A bunch of CDH players can be babies about it. The real ones know that I love the format and it's a great one. You don't need to be yelling at me in the comments about it. But regardless, I will be making that video later. If something like this is gonna get slapped on my desk, then your boy got a report on it. Regardless, insane change. Urza Saga, get your Urza Sagas right now. Watch the wipeout purchases. We're gonna see the price of this thing, right? You know what? We're gonna do this live. We're gonna do this live right now. Face-to-face games right now. By the way, this is in Canadian dollars, folks. So Urza's Saga. Where are we at? Where are we at with the Sagas right now? Okay, well, those are the Texas promos. Okay, so we still have some in stock. Very low. Okay, yeah, we have like, you know, non-full like these. $50, something like that. This about a jump. This about a jump. This at least got to be $60, $70. People are going to be overhyping this. In my personal opinion, this just makes Urza Saga much better, not broken. It makes it really powerful. And I think there are going to be some synergies that people are going to be looking to abuse alongside this. 100% they are. 100% they are. It's just gonna be a lot harder to interact with something like this and stop. So that's gonna be really unfortunate. But regardless, Urza Saga just got a huge buff, folks. How are you abusing this card in your next game of Magic the Gathering?